Welcome to episode 12. Why things have to happen a certain way and other things tend to go complete 180-degree opposite of what you initially thought. Those who are brand new, my name is Marine Veteran. I am a variety creator, variety gamer, variety streamer, variety, whatever you want to give me the notion on. I play games with my friends. I hang out. I create content. I do a weekly podcast, which is what you're either watching on YouTube, Rumble, via recorded, or listening to on Spotify. And if you've ever given me a notion to watch at any point in time, I can't thank you enough. Now, the weekly podcast consists of me covering just about everything that I can see. And if y'all heard double audio, I do apologize. Because I'm still... Hold on, what the hell? I'm still kind of going through and understanding certain items and everything else. So, yeah. But one thing I'll talk about real quick will definitely be on the BS that's going on over in the Middle East, on top of the proxy war going on with Ukraine and Russia. And my stance as a vet on certain things that I see. First and foremost, you got to understand, I am a 100% disabled veteran. I served 9 years active duty in the United States Marine Corps. I deployed to Iraq in 2009, Afghanistan in 2011. Okay? Was I infantry? No. You keep your pogue comments to yourself unless you are actually somebody who is able to outperform me overseas. Because I did more shit that required outside of my job than most people could ever think of. I see the shit going on with Israel and Hamas and Palestine, Iran moving things over to Iraq, and you got Hezbollah and Hamas trying to, coordinate together. You got Israel, who's rightfully defending themselves whenever you have your biggest adversary coming across your border, killing, murdering, raping, and basically trying to destroy your own way of life. And then they want to say, oh, well, no, bad guy this, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. And people have been asking me for my support towards Palestine. I told them straightforward, fuck off. I will not support somebody whose country chanted death to America on 9/11. I will not. I've already said this piece before. I cannot believe I got to say it again. Do I want death? No. Do I want a quick resolution? Yes. And the only way for that to happen is for things to happen that people are not accustomed to. Now, what I will say is at the end of the day, human life's always at a factor and always at risk. No matter what country, no matter what conflict it's in. Whether you got a psychopath like Putin, a genocidal maniac like Kim Jong-un, or a terroristic organization like Hamas and another one, Hezbollah, that wants nothing more than to do away with an entire civilization, all based on their religion. I don't get why people still to this day cannot understand basic human life is at stake no matter what. That's not to say, we're perfect here in the States. We have our own problems here, we have our own problems here, but we cannot effectively govern our own lands if we're constantly getting involved with a bunch of shit that we don't need to get involved in. That's just, that's the notion of what it is. We have no business being over in Ukraine or Russia. We have no business being over in Israel. Yes, they are our allies. We can send them aid. We can send them tanks. We can, send everything that we need to send them. But actively sending carrier groups and everything, and this isn't classified. It's been put out on the news and shit. That is in of itself getting involved in a proxy war. And I don't understand why people don't grasp their heads around that. Because if it comes down to it, it's going to come down to a fucking draft. And I'm sorry, but everybody here in the States that's of legal age and of able body, I'm not of able body anymore. Y'all are going to struggle. Y'all are going to have to scratch and claw and fight your way into an item that you are not even remotely familiar with. Yeah, you can sit there and play all the Call of Duty games and everything and be like, oh, I got some notion. No, the fuck you don't. Because at the end of the day, whenever rounds are flying over your head, you can't go to your safe space. You got somebody yelling in your ear. You can't say, oh, I'm stressed out. I need my own little space. You can't do any of that shit. Because when shit starts hitting the fan, it's either you get off your ass, you understand the situation at hand, and you nut or man or woman or whatever you want to identify as the fuck up, and you fight to survive. It's no little 9 to 5 and everything else. And like the thing is, this weighs about a pound max. I'm gonna point to what somebody just said. Normally I wouldn't be engaging with chat, but somebody brought up a really good point. The M16A4 and the M16M4 roughly weigh between 7 to 14 pounds, depending on how it is. Just take a weight and hold it straight out in front of me. Watch how fast your arm gets heavy. Take a Q-tip, hold it out straight in front. Watch how fast it gets heavy. You're not accustomed to hardships the way you think you are. You want hardships? Go throw on 85 pounds and walk for 3, 4, 5 miles. Then go do your day-to-day job. I'm not sitting here and saying, oh, well, I know my hardships better than anybody else. I know what I've done. I know what I've been through. I know the shit that I've gone through and everything else. What I'm telling you is, shit hits the fan, you ain't prepared. And people who don't like firearms and don't like guns and don't like weapons, tough shit, sweetheart. You're gonna have to get used to them really fast. Because it's either kill or be killed. Pretty simple. I'm on the notion, I'm attached to life. I think anybody else who had the privileges within this lifetime of theirs is the same. Now we have a lot of mental health issues and everything else within society as a whole, not just in the US, but throughout the entire world. But the general norm is people are attached to life and they don't want anything to fuck with it. And if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, oh, you're monetized, I don't fucking care, okay? I'm not violating their TOS. I'm not dropping anything slanderous or anything like that. So, whether this is monetized or not on YouTube, I don't care. It's cut in half, it's cut in half. I don't care, okay? This is my podcast. Is me, going through all the other stuff. At the end of the day, people are going to have to understand you're going to need to adjust your way of thinking, your way of life, and prepare in the event shit does really hit the fan and the draft's enacted. I'm going to tell you, it's just going to be, able-bodied males. It's going to be able-bodied everyone. Because they've already said, oh, these people can now serve. These people can now serve. No, we now have we rescinded the don't ask, don't tell. These people can serve. These people can serve. You think you're just going to be idly behind a desk, an admin? Hell no. You're picking up your ruck. You're picking up your gun. You're picking up, anywhere between 180 to 400 rounds of ammunition strapped on your body, and your ass is going overseas. Or, worst comes to worst, you're defending this fucking country. And that scares the shit out of me. Because there's a lot of people in this world I don't want to my left or I don't want to my right. Whenever, the shit goes on down and we're sitting there having to fight. I don't want that. I want people who are able to do their job effectively whenever things come down, come down, and it fucking happens. But time will tell. Moving on to the time will tell. And this one's, by the way, if you're not used to this podcast, I will bounce from topic to topic to topic. I don't go in a scripted format. So I am not like any other podcast you're going to tune into. I am not like any other figurehead that you're going to run into. Speaking on time will tell, Rumble, when will we have an alert bot other than JSON? Because it is absolutely garbage. I cannot fucking fathom why you want to sit there and make your platform, even your smaller based live streaming areas, use JSON, dude. If anybody knows of a bot or of an application I can use for alerts, please let me know. Because one thing about me is I am big on charity streams. I am big on charity. And I want to hear whenever somebody, donates 5, 10, 15, etc. to that organization I'm running money, I'm raising money for. Or when somebody tips and it's from Rumble, or, something like that. I want to get the alerts. I don't want to have to see it in the feed. Oh, well, blah, 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 follow, blah, and then see all that later. I want alerts on Rumble. I'm not going to sit there and try to do this whole little programming bullshit with fucking JSON. It's garbage at best. And I even told their support that too. And they're like, oh, well, thank you for reaching out. I was like, no, bitch, listen. It's like, no. Even Kick and Trovo, whenever they were in early betas, they had applications set up, ready to go, that were user created and everything else. And I still don't understand why Rumble hasn't even done that. And they've been a platform for I don't know, like a decade now? Ish, maybe? Hold on, I'm going to do this real quick. Rumble. They've been a platform for 9 years. And they still don't have a freaking alert bot. And it's driving me crazy. Even Mixer, back whenever they were Beam, had that. Like, dude, the fuck? I'll even go even further back. Justin TV. They even had that. Why? Because they worked their asses off to be able to ensure connectivity and transparency for their viewers to their streamers. And to be able to have that community feel within certain aspects. But you cannot effectively call yourself, or I wouldn't even say call yourself, you cannot effectively have a live streaming area without an actual alert bot. You can't. You just physically cannot. Because we have the ability to live stream. Cool. But your section within live streaming is a moot point because you don't have the basics down. Like, you don't have anything that sends alerts or anything like that. I'm not talking about push alerts. I'm not talking about email alerts or stuff like that. I'm talking about live alerts. Where, I'm live right now, and somebody, brings in people from their channel for a raid, and I should be able to see the alert pop up on my overlay that says a user has raided with X amount of people. There's not that on Rumble. And it's at the point where it's like, how can I effectively be a creator without the ability to create the alerts? Yeah, I can be, a talking head in front of a camera and, whatever. Be this idiot on the internet, playing a game and having fun and everything else. But it's at the point where it's like, you need the basics and you don't have them. And it's like, why? It baffles me because I can sit there and shoot support, messages after messages and email after email, but they'll just get ignored. Like, certain things have happened in the past with other platforms and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you need something to be able to, cater to your live audiences. An alert, like a freaking alert bot or an alert box, let alone, would be just that would, just being what you need. I don't know, maybe, who knows. And then also with the alert part for Rumble, and this one's more towards Rumble and Kick. Site moderation needs to be better, and it is much needed. Because without your site moderation, without any core group actually ensuring the the safeguarding of users on your platform, yeah, you can have free speech left and right and everything else. But when it really affects people to where you don't see them for a while, that's whenever you need to reevaluate your site moderation. Because you can sit there and ban and mute and do that, what you need to do all day long. You ensure the safeguard of your channel first and foremost. People can easily go and create another account like that. That's why IP and MAC address hardware bans are needed. And I've yet to see a platform to actually do a MAC address ban, because when you create your account and you agree to those rules that, within that little checkbox where you say, I agree to the terms of services and the community guidelines, once you do that, all of that shit's registered on the back end within their domain. And no, they cannot give that to people, because that is a breach of so many securities. It's also a breach of so many privacy laws and everything else. But whenever it comes down to the core of it, like, I'll go and, shed just a small little bit of light on this. I'm currently dealing with an issue with an idiot that's been harassing me for, over 3 years. I cannot keep count of how many accounts he's made on multiple platforms. Not just one, multiple. Had the different platforms that he's created the account on done their due diligence and seen, oh, this MAC address and this IP address matches up, we can ban him. Especially if he's being banned in the same channel multiple times. And don't get me wrong, there's one platform that's been really, really good about this, keeping him at bay with, stuff going on like that left and right. But the others, not so much. Site moderation and site enforcements need to happen within the entirety. Because without it, you can't effectively grow. Not just as a creator, you can't effectively grow as a platform. And yeah, Twitch, it might be the biggest live streaming platform that exists right now. But even they hit their plateau sometime because of certain situations. You just need that. You need the better site moderation across the board for everything, because without it, your creators are going to struggle and they're not going to want to do what they want to do. Which, like myself, create content for people, whoever's watching, listening, to enjoy. Like, I like to sit back, have fun, hang out with my friends, game, possibly suck at them sometimes and make it look good. But I'm not going to want to sit there and, push any content out if there's nothing being done about the issues with the people that are, constantly harassing me. I'm not. It's pretty simple. Like, it's the same context as you're going to your job and you're dealing with this one coworker who has constantly made your life a living hell. Your corporate staff knows about it. Everybody else can see it that's happening and everything else. And nobody's want to do anything. Are you going to remove yourself from the situation to go find another job at a better company who will do that? Or are you going to stay in that same curmudgeonless little area and still deal with the bullshit? I don't know about you, but I'm moving on to that better job. And no, this isn't me saying, oh, I'm leaving streaming. You'll know if things get bad enough to where I need to step back from live streaming to go and take care of things, because I'll announce it in Discord and on social media. I'm not going to do, oh, hey guys, Marine here. Things are getting. No, fuck that. I'm not even gonna do a twit long. I'm like, I need to step back. Things are getting rough. I'll be back whenever I'm back. That'll be it. Pretty simple. Now, normally with this podcast, I'd be like, Twitch, catch me live here, 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 and here. But that's not the situation. And I got a feeling certain things happen within it. Why it happened the way it did. Bring that down. Move this here. Bring this up. Because whenever you want to talk about going through and seeing everything, this was posted September 21st, 2022, over a year ago, from the president, Dan Clancy, on sub splits, basically your revenue shares. They moved everybody to a 50-50 standard, and that caused a lot of people to get pissed off. I know several partners who were making bank that saw that 20% go away, and they've been struggling. Now, I'm almost certain with what I'm like within this, it caused people to start branching out for a higher sub split and everything else. It's one of those things that you look at as a business standpoint and you understand the certain things that are going on, and you're like, all right, what are y'all trying to do? Well, this probably pissed off one of their last big figureheads, and he was more than likely locked into an agreement where he couldn't do anything, couldn't look at any offers, because that's what got Dr. Disrespect banned. That's a fucking rumor, though. I'm still going on with that's what got Dr. Disrespect banned, because he looked at an offer from somebody else, and now he's over on YouTube. If he wants to confirm or deny, that's his business. I'm not gonna sit there and try to say, oh, this is the reason why he got banned, but it's just what I know. They moved all partners and kept all affiliates to a 50-50 split. Kick comes out and says, hey, we're offering 95.5 to everybody, which means the streamers are 95% of their revenue. If Twitch had kept it at 70-30 for the partners, and maybe, I don't know, depending on how large your partnerships are and how large or your partners are growing and everything else, you could have rolled it up to a 90-10 split. And then for your affiliates who are doing fucking phenomenal, a 70-30. Maybe, your big dude wouldn't have left. I don't know. Maybe Nick Merckx would have stayed with Twitch and would have gone, just straight up stayed. But hey, I don't blame him. If I'm one of, if not your largest creator that's still partnered over on Twitch, and I'm getting screwed over by a 50-50 split, and you're not wanting to listen to reason and everything else, deuces. I'm going to chase the bigger bag. I don't know about you, but $10 million is a pretty large bag. Like, he signed with Kick, so it's one of those that it's one of the things where it's like you see what's going on, and you understand everything that's happening. But when you go and say, "Hey, we're going to cut down from 70% to 50%," it's one of those like it sucks because Here you are making money for the platform, and they're basically giving you the middle finger saying, fuck you, we don't care. And then with the signing, I'm almost certain that it had the notion on the simulcasting with Twitch rolling back their exclusivity. Which is why you are going to see me stream every day that I stream to Kick, Trovo, D Live. Yes, I still stream to that platform, Rumble, and Twitch. Because I know the guidelines I have to follow. I know what's, everything on here. And I have a feeling the merge chat will go away because of how things are. Because Dan did an interview with Harris Heller. I didn't catch any of it and I didn't care. But I know he had a merge chat and he saw the potential for it and everything else. I will not do the merge chat until certain things are resolved on my end and everything else. Now, the other thing I'm going to talk about with the Nick Merckx effect is it brings this point up, and this is directed to Kick. Y'all said that you weren't going to sign, people to millions of dollars and alienate your smaller creators. But yet, whenever I take a look at everybody who's within the Creator Center program, you said of all sizes, right? Every single person, and I respect 80% of them for the work that they've done, and the other 20 they basically bought it themselves, and y'all haven't caught it. That 20% that I'm kind of referenced to, y'all need to go and really reevaluate once y'all roll the analytics section out of your platform, and either rescind their partnership or verification status, or tell them get your metrics back up in the correct manner. Because at the end of the day, whenever people are view botting and everything else, and you're overlooking hardworking, harder working people that are not verified, that deserve it much more than somebody who's a view botting and using a betting for their advantages, and thank God Twitch is rolling that away. It raises the question, do you really care about your platform, or are you caring more about the freaking snide comments you're sending to your competitors? Because I see what's posted on Twitter, and it's like nobody's going to want to come to the platform if you're doing something in that manner, because it makes you look childish. Pretty freaking simple, right? You don't sit there and say, oh, pick, kick, ditch, and you fill in the blank here, and people, put two and two together. You don't say that shit. You don't. And then you don't go back and you double down and say, oh, if your home isn't kick, you're doing a double wrong. All right, well, I'll give you something, and this is to all of them. Give me a reason why I should make one singular platform my home. I don't care, if that's my main target audience and everything else. I care about my audiences. That's not what I'm referenced to. Give me a reason why I should make one single solitary platform my home. And then I'm going to hit you with this. I am not going to go down and have the mixer effect. I'm not. I've already been burned once, and I'm not going to go through and get burned again. It's why I multi-stream. It's why I push content to 5 areas while I'm live, and recorded to 3 areas. Because at the end of the day, I refuse to put all my eggs in one fucking basket again. Because I got burned. Bad. So did thousands of others. We all got shafted. Because a platform didn't want to communicate with its audiences. And a platform didn't want to communicate nor listen to its partnered streamers. I guess I've been in this industry for a little bit longer than my own, well-being. But it brings up the point to Kick with Nick Merckx signing a $10+ million deal, are y'all still going on with your word that you want to sign $1,000 million smaller creators? Or are you still going after the larger people and signing them because it's not the way to grow your platform? It's not. Now, I'll give credit to, where credit's due, such as the Kick staff for rolling out something that no other platform did with their sub splits. But in the end, like at the end of the day, I'm gonna, kind of raise an eye and be like, raise an eyebrow and be like, are you doing this correctly though? Or are you just trying to, inflate your numbers as high and as fast as you can? Because y'all been neglecting your API for months and people are wanting it. People are wanting that freaking API so that we can go further with alerts, so that we can go further with sponsorships, and nobody's gonna want to sponsor you with anybody unless it's a freaking API. They're not. Especially Stream Elements, but they've even said that. Stream Elements and Mixup, the two best items that I can even recommend anybody to use. They will not utilize a platform that does not have a public API. They won't. Now, DLive's its own little thing, and it's much smaller, but, hey, it is what it is. A couple things that are coming down the pipeline on my end. Whenever it comes to streaming and stuff, there's an area that I need to call and verify that, they can help me out with an LLC. And also, I need to save up for trademarking a name that I already have an email for. And going from that. But when I do the rebrand, I'm gonna do it live. I'll have everything set up on November 11th, which is in 2 weeks. I will be doing a Veterans Day charity radathon, and it will be with nothing but veterans. I will be teamed up with other vets that love to play the game, that love raiding, and I'm looking forward to it. I have incentives, which I'll be posting later today on Twitter, and from there. So I know this one's a little bit shorter, and I kind of ran through a bunch of things, kind of quickly, but overall, it is what it is. Sorry for not doing the podcast back on the 21st, 22nd. I was not feeling the greatest. So I kind of pushed it off and just kept going with the weekly stuff this way. So until then, you can catch me live on Monday. No, I'm sorry, Tuesday through Sunday. Possibly going to be changing that again. And going from there on Twitch, Trovo, DLive, Rumble, and Kick. Username Marine Veteran. Marine Veteran X is the only one that's different. That's over on Twitch because somebody has it. Marine Veteran 06 on Rumble. So until then, we'll catch you later. Peace.